2020 is the year we all learned more about the devastation.
Coronavirus pandemic is pushing huge health
countries for Aliya UK videos.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. So we're gathered here for the launch of our new initiative, which is called Kruxd. Kruxd is a global health data repository that's been designed to make health data accessible to everyone. So owing to COVID-19 measures, our launch event is going to happen remotely, but we are live streaming this on YouTube. So we request you to post your questions either on the chat box or on YouTube. And we'd also love to get your comments and suggestions on how we can improve the platform. So Kruxd is a global health data repository where you can access several data files in health, as well as infographics and dashboards. So we will be going through the platform, and we'd love to tell you a little bit more about how we developed it. But before we get into the details, I'd like to quickly introduce the platform and tell you a little bit about our motivations and our objectives for creating this open data platform. So Kruxd has been developed by Deadliest. Deadliest is a digital media organization that was launched in September 2015. So we started off in media training and capacity building with the launch of the Google News Initiative India Training Program, which was the first initiative that we took on, and that is today one of the largest fact-checking networks across the world. So today we have extended our work to data journalism, media research, social media monitoring, and fact-checking. So in 2019, we forayed into data journalism, where we started publishing data stories on a number of health topics. In 2019, we started publishing clean data sets for doctors. So we found that a lot of our readers were doctors and medical professionals, and there was a lot of demand for data sets in health, which they just wanted to access to quickly get the latest statistics. So that's where we started our data reporting. And in 2020, 2021, we were reporting extensively on COVID, and that was truly path-breaking because for one, it was the first time that journalists were actually tracking data on a real-time basis. So I think prior to that, we were typically doing data stories that were either newsworthy or we would pick up stories where data was available. But with COVID, we actually started building dashboards and monitoring data real time. And in this process, we found that found that there were a lot of loopholes in terms of how you can monitor data on a real time basis. So firstly, just kind of seeing different kind of reporting systems that different countries have, as well as being cognizant of errors that feature in data sets. So that was one. And secondly, I think with COVID, as we kind of went into the pandemic, we had a lot of experts who pointed out to historical factors, like, for example, how well our health systems in different countries developed. And in that process, in the process of reporting on that, we had to go back and reference several historical data sets. And that's where we became cognizant of the lack of data in many cases around these topics. And so we decided that the way to approach health and health reporting is to stop picking up topics where data is available and to actually systematically look at data and identify avenues where there is a lack of data or there's a lack of data that's consistent, as well as that a lot of data sets and research around health is published by smaller organizations. And accessing data sets can be quite a hassle unless you do this systematically. So earlier this year, we began sourcing data systematically. So we identified several health data sources, and we began downloading those data sets and cleaning them, analyzing them. And today, after 6 months, we're ready to put this out for the public, where you can access the website and you will be able to see millions of data sets and infographics. We've also developed 3 dashboards. There's one on COVID-19, there's one on cancer, and we've also done one on funding and health. So all of these will be accessible to you on our platform. And at this point, I'd like to hand it over to my colleague Tariq, who will do a quick demo of the platform, and then we'll come back and we'll speak about membership plans and other ways that you can support us. And then we'll be happy to take your questions.
We all look for numbers, parameters, and rates in an effort to understand things around us. There's abundance of data scattered across different platforms that it's easy to lose our way in search for that data. The numbers that matter, they get lost in that chase. Now imagine all the health data from across the world, from diverse platforms, from different times in one place. A place on the internet where you can just skip the hop and have access to data right there. Well, here we stand. At Deadliest, we are thrilled to announce the launch of Kruxd, a global health data initiative designed to bring you access to global health data. To bring you access to data which matters, which could save lives, which could help us to make policies better. So the idea at the heart of this data hub is simple. Let's make data a global good.
With Kruxd, you no longer need to spend all your time searching for and cleaning data sets. You can simply log on to www.kruxd.in and search for data sets by topic, country, or year. What's more, we also have infographics and dashboards covering various topics in health. There is a ton of public data available online, but these can often be hard to access. They're often available in multiple files and formats that are not very easy to analyze. At Kruxd, we do all the cleaning and processing for you, so you have access to all the health data that you need.
Here at Kruxd Tech Team, we are creating a central hub of information flow on global health statistics. The data we maintain is assembled in such a way that it's ready to be collected and analyzed anywhere and anytime. In effect, what we strive to do every day is to use technology to make data more accessible, as accessibility improves transparency and transparency brings trust.
There is a story behind every number, and there are stories that depend on the data analysis to be told, to be understood, and to be explained. We read the numbers for you to tell the stories hidden behind the mammoth dataset of global health data, because numbers are always better evidences than mere quotes and claims.
At Kruxd, we are always chasing the next big thing. Making health data accessible is just the first step. It's a global good that each one of us can benefit from. We value building relationships, and so here we are building a platform that brings us all together. We believe it's time health data gets out of its silos and into your hands. So let's work together to bring an impact and to build a stronger future with trust, transparency, and accessibility. Thank you, Anuja. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you all are. My name is Tariq, and I am the Senior Data Analyst here at Kruxd. As Anuja mentioned, the importance of data has never been profound. So, yeah. So without data, we're just another person with an opinion. And with Kruxd, our idea is pretty simple. Our idea is to get data out of silos and into your hands. Data should not be esoteric anymore. It should not be the conversation of a limited number of people or a limited number of experts or groups. It should be a matter of conversation for everyone out there. It should be a matter of, a broader conversation. And that is the essence through which we operate, and that is the essence of starting a new conversation, a new dialogue. Our platform, Kruxd, is built and designed keeping exactly that in mind. As we begin, we're showcasing our product through 4 different tools: data files, infographics, data blogs, and dashboards. As of now, we have over 1 million data files already on the platform, over 10,000 infographics, 65 high-quality data-driven insights documented through data blogs, and 3 interactive, immersive dashboards on extremely crucial topics. So allow me to walk you through how the website looks like and how you can navigate through the platform. So our URL is kruxd.in. Once you open the website, you get this screen, which essentially lays out our message pretty clearly. We want to make health data accessible to all. This is how the homepage looks like. Once the first thing that you will see is this search option, which whatever keyword you type in here, it's going to look up that term across the website. So it's a meta search. At the top, you will see the menu bar, which has, first of all, those 4 tools through which we're showcasing our database. So we have infographics, data files, dashboards, and data blog. In addition to these 4, we also have a page about the platform, one on the newsletter, and then the membership and the login features. I'm going to scroll down and just navigate to the home page. First thing you see is the infographics, and you can actually hover through these are the latest ones we're publishing, and as I said, we already have over 10,000 of these. If you hover over any of these, you can actually see what this infographic is about. For example, this one is about the number of deaths in Nepal between 1990 and 96 due to non-communicable diseases. The other one over here is on deaths in Myanmar due to environmental heat and coal exposure, and so on and so forth. Scrolling down a little further, we have data files. And similarly, you can actually see what each file is about: rate of DALYs, which is disability adjusted life years. And in a similar way, you can just hover, browse through the latest data files through this scrolling option on the right as well as on the left. If I go down further, this is a collection of 15 top keywords on our website, the most topical conversations, the most topical content on our website. You can just click on it and get the search results for each of these terms across all the 4 product lines. A little further down are the dashboards. We have, like Anuja mentioned, we currently have 3 on our platform. And you can scroll over in a similar way. You can scroll and click on any of them to open and see. Further down, we have the data blog. 65 of them. In a similar way, you can scroll through them, left and right. This is how they come up on the homepage. Right. So we have, like I said, we have blogs on a variety of topics. It's all data driven. We have, for example, we have one on COVID cases despite vaccinations in the UAE. We have one on India's Northeast second wave. We have one on Japan. We have, and so on and so forth. Down at the footer, you will see a sort of a sitemap wherein you get all these links about the page, about the platform, terms of use, membership policy, a page about our team, wherein we all have our pretty pictures put up, a page on the career opportunities at Kruxd, one in the newsletter, and then our a parent and sister organizations under data lease. You also have the option of connecting with us via email as well as this dedicated phone line. Down at the right-hand side corner, we have the links to the platforms, and I highly recommend every one of us to connect with us over LinkedIn, Twitter. We have our Kruxd dedicated pages on these 2 platforms, as well as the Health Analytics Asia pages on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm just going to scroll back up and take you through each of these individual pages. If I open infographics, this is how you're going to see, as of now, we have the numbers shown over here are reflecting the current database of ours. So we have over 10,000 infographics from across 58 countries and regions. And these are the topics. You can just search one like this and filter your search results like this, and filter by topic as well as by region. For example, let's say I want to have a look at China. So you can just filter out by China, and then all the China related infographics are going to show up. And if you just uncheck this box, it goes back to the results of all the infographics. Similarly, if you want to just have a look at, let's say, pancreatic cancer infographics. So this is going to filter out the results accordingly. You can actually scroll down to the bottom of the page and browse to the n number of pages that we have. This is, for example, like I filtered the infographics for pancreatic cancer only, and we have 3 pages each with 20 infographics solely on pancreatic cancer from different regions in the world, different regions, different countries, all over. Okay, moving on to data files. We have over 1 million of them now, and this number is only going to grow. And I assure you, the next time you open this website in 24 hours, it's going to shoot up to 1.5 million, 2 million, something around that range. A similar sort of MO over here on this page as well. You can filter your results by topic, by region, and the search results of data files are going to show up accordingly. And just to give you a sense of the volume that we already have, I'm going to go to the last page, which is page number 300. Okay, so this is probably not a good idea. Let's just go back. So yeah, this again, so this is infographics. I'm going to come back to data files. You can actually open up any data file and download the Excel sheet, or it's cleaned up. It has the link of the source. It has all the details that you need. It has the link to the original data file and original data source on the file. Everything listed out there pretty cleanly. If I go on to the dashboards now, I'm just going to open one for your, for example, the cancer dashboard. We have this is a dashboard on the 5 deadliest cancers across the globe, and looking at these 5 deadliest cancers through 3 different indicators: prevalence, incidences, and deaths. So cancer has been one of the most crucial health topics of late, and for some reason it's never got that traction in conversation, at least in this part of the world. So through these immersive dashboards, and by bringing these numbers into the light, into the conversation, we aim to sort of amplify the conversation surrounding cancer research, cancer healthcare, cancer treatment, and all that. So this is just one of those 3 dashboards that we have. And since it's all interactive, you can actually just play around with the map here and filter out by the metric and the causes and all that. So it's I'll now move on to the data blocks. Right, so 65 data stories from across the world on topics, and you can actually filter these out by topics and countries all in one. And these are data-driven, immersive, research-driven stories, write-ups on crucial topics. For example, COVID's impact on tuberculosis, and data about India's vaccinations, vaccine hesitancy, regional cancer centers. These are all very intensive data-driven stories. And I'm just going to open one of them to show you. Let's just open this one. So this was a piece that relates the impact of COVID on tuberculosis care, especially in the most affected countries. So we have, the stories, as I said, are extremely data driven, and these are said through visualizations. For example, these plots right over here are the true numbers that we see, the impact of COVID on TB care and TB treatment, and how those things have panned out over the last nearly 2 years now. So yeah, you can actually browse through these 65 data blogs and many more to come in the coming weeks or so. We're going to be publishing one data blog a week, if that's the initial idea. And these are going to be on crucial topics from all across the world. If you just hop onto the page about the platform, there's a little bit about us, about the platform, about our parent organization, about our sister organizations. You can just click on them and go to their websites. And you can watch the feature video over here, which will try to play it for you in a little while. If you want to sign up for our newsletter, which is it's going to bring to you everything about latest health trends, what the conversation is happening globally about public health, about specific diseases, about anything anywhere in the globe. We're going to be covering. We're going to try to cover everything, and these newsletters are going to bring you snapshots of what we're doing and what the health conversation is about. We highly recommend you sign up for this newsletter, and you can do that from here. Just put in your name and your email ID, and you're done. There's one more aspect of the platform that I'm going to show you. It's because we're essentially a membership-driven platform, and more details of this my colleague Mishti will tell you about. So if you come to membership, you just go through the page and you get all the details about the plans and everything. And I'm going to just hand over to my colleague Mishti now, and she's going to just walk you through the whole membership plan and how we aim to be a community-driven, membership-driven platform that brings everything about global health right into your hands. Over to you, Mishti.
Thank you, Tariq. This was really helpful. Hi guys, good morning. I am Misty Sablok and I'm the communication leads for Kruxd. All right, so I'm sure Tariq and Anuja were able to take you through about a lot of more details about this platform, this unique platform that we put together, Kruxd. While you must have realized it's data and data cuts across. While we are taking a slice of health specific data, but there are a lot of stakeholders or there are a lot of takers for this. There are different individuals and organizations who can benefit from this platform. There could be media houses, researchers, policymakers, health professionals, hospitals, medical students, pharma companies, decision makers, even companies who have a little play in the health sector can benefit from this. But each player will have a different appetite, a different need for data, what they want to absorb from here. Hence, we have put together a plan, a short plan, customized for each sector. So basis your requirement, basis your need, you can just take up what suits you. Just a second. And yeah, so if you just look at it, like Tariq mentioned, we have different membership plans, subscription plans. It's as simple as that how you can associate with us. There are different ways you can associate. So starting with, there's a basic subscription plan, which is for single users. What all you can derive from it is a monthly newsletter, which will be reaching you. You will have full access to the data files. So if you see, the data will be giving you will come in different shapes and forms. It will come to you through infographics, Excel sheets, bar graphs, other such things. So you'll have access to all our infographics. You'll have access to the data blogs, dashboards, while rest of this benefits won't be covered in it. So if we see the basic subscription is free, definitely it's a new platform and you would want to make yourself privy to it first. Is it really useful for you? So you can always start with the basic subscription to understand this platform, that how useful it can be. So definitely these are the factors it covers. Then we have members. Now when I say members, it's actually paid members. So single users can benefit a monthly newsletter, data files, infographics, data blogs, dashboards, video tutorials. We will have video tutorials on data analysis, Then you'll have priority access to data summits. As we will be growing our organization, our whole play will be to build it as a think tank for database and health data. So definitely each time we organize an event, a summit, our members will have the very first priority access to it. So this will come to you at a annual membership fee of $30, 30 USD. Then after that, a different organization might have a very different appetite or a need compared to an individual. When we're talking about corporates, we're talking about government organizations or media houses, their appetite would be much higher than an individual, a single researcher who's looking out. So we have built a plan customized to their needs. For enterprises, we'll be giving them a 10 user plan. So basically, if you subscribe with us under the enterprise plan, you can get 10 logins, 10 user logins. Then you'll be given a monthly newsletter. You'll have access to data files, infographics, blogs, dashboards, and video tutorials. And of course, the priority access to our summits, which will be taking place in future. While the data workshop and research reports comes along with this. And of course, the Kruxd special events will have the priority access for our all enterprise members. This will come at an annual fee of 100 USD. So this is generally it'll best suited for any organization or a group or a team where they have high requirement of data, where they can take in multiple users and logins. So this was our customized plans, like we have structuredly given to you. This is the way you can associate with us. You can join our platforms. Now, going beyond this, how an organization can also associate with us on customized basis. Like this is our website, our platform, the data hub we have created, where we are taking up the research, we are cleaning the data, putting together all the Excel files, data sets and everything, and you can come forward and have an access to it. Now, the second way of going ahead is if you have a research requirement, a data analysis, a data collection requirement, you can come on board with us and we will be conducting the data analysis and surveys for you. So under the enterprise project, we have data analysis, research projects, data research, data survey, data visualization, data consultation, data sourcing, health tech, forecast and modeling, and data insights. Now, this is strictly depending upon the demand of the individual or the organization. So as and when you come on board with us, you put forward your demand, what sector in health you need the research in, how extensive it needs to be, basis that a price will be put together. So definitely it'll be on need basis. All right, I think this helps together. You have two different ways you can associate with us, and I'm sure right after this, it'll be best if you guys log on to our website and join as for basic subscription so that you can just get a window to what this whole platform is about. Right, thank you so much. I think I'll pass it on to Anuja from here.
Yes, so what we can do now is just bring everyone in. We have a couple of questions that we can take. Okay, great.
Sure.
So we have Tariq, Misty, and myself. So the first question that we've received is on different sources of information and what kind of data do we plan to look at. So maybe I can take that. Like I said, the way we came about this platform was actually by looking at data sets across different health topics. And we found that in some cases, data was easily available, especially on the websites of international organizations like the World Health Organization or UNICEF, or also national governments. But in some cases, data is really hard to find, or they're very limited to certain indicators. So for example, one of the topics that we're focusing on right now is actually sanitation. There's a lot of the indicators that governments report on are limited to accessibility. So things like how many households have access to a toilet, but we don't know anything beyond that. We don't know anything about awareness or usage, for example. So that is one of the primary objectives, is to look at also avenues where data is not easily available. So the idea is really, one is to make this platform a single window for people to access health data. So over the next few years, we want to develop the website to an extent where if you are looking for any kind of data on, let's say, any health topic, you'll be able to use a keyword to just do that search on our website, and you'll receive access to that data. So that's what we're looking at. In terms of sources, we identify what topics we'll be working on, and then we do a comprehensive research on different data sources. So we try to look beyond the already existing health data sets. We try to look beyond that to also a lot of NGOs who put out their research on their websites that often don't receive any coverage, partly because people don't know about it, and partly because it can be very hard to process that kind of data. So that's kind of the way we've been dealing with this. Okay, I think the next question can go to Misty. So there is someone who wants to know how they can collaborate with us. So if you could just quickly go through not just the membership, but apart from that, how can people reach out to us and collaborate with us?
Sure, Ruja. So like our strict play, if you can see, is in the health data sector, and we're trying to expand this sphere. You can either come on board as a client, you can take up the membership suiting to your demand. You can take a basic membership, you can take a single person membership or an enterprise membership, depending upon how much is your appetite, how much do you need data downloads and logins and everything. Another way is, like we said, it's the other way around. So in the first way, we are putting together the data, we're doing all the groundwork, and we're showcasing it on a website. If you need, come over and download it, and you can take it away. Secondly is basically we're going to do the groundwork basis your customized need. Let's say you're working in a farm for a pharma company, and you want to you're working on any specific project, any research taking place, let's say in cancer, and you want to conduct a survey, you want you want a data across the globe, data to be analyzed, to be filtered, to be put together. So we'll be doing that customization service for you. So that is coming at a certain fee, which is again depending upon basis the conversation, your need, how long it's going to take, what is the scale of the project, basis that will be decided. That is the second way. The third way is, again, like we said, we'll be expanding as a think tank, and we're going to venture into events and summits. So you can come on board as a partner with us in future, where we can collaborate, exchange knowledge, and put together a platform where data and data analysis, concept can be presented in these events. So yeah, I hope this is helpful.
Yeah.
There's one more addition that I'd like to make is that for all these the conversations, the other way around conversations, we have a dedicated email line for that, which is projects@kruxd.in. I'm going to show all the email contact options and URLs at the end of this conversation. So yeah, all you can do is just, all you need to do is just drop in a line on that email for any proposals and any conversations that you think you would want us to take forward.
Right. Okay. Tariq, I think you can take the next question. So we have a question that says, can we ask for customized data and data visualizations?
Yes, actually you can. We're trying to build our database and we're trying to gather any and every health data from every corner of the world. And slowly and steadily, we're going to build up to a capacity that caters to almost everyone's demands. But in the process, there's always going to be a chance that someone needs some particular data that we might not have. In that case, they might just drop a line and connect with us through either of these options, either our hello@kruxd.in email address or the projects option. And we're going to try to work on those data sets on priority basis.
Yeah, just to add to that, we would like to collaborate with different organizations that are collecting primary data. So we will, be happy to sign a data protection agreement as well before we take it on. But essentially, we are a team of data analysts, and so we do have the technical capabilities to process and analyze and also synthesize a large scale data. So that's something that we would love to do, is to collaborate with NGOs that oftentimes you conduct surveys and you don't utilize all of the indicators for your analysis. So then if you want to develop a dashboard or anything of that sort, we'd be happy to collaborate with you on that. We will share the contact details at the end of this.
Yeah, the idea is a very good point that Anuja you've made, is we're a team of data analysts. So we might look into the data set that you have in a manner that you probably won't be able to. So for example, a public health body or a health initiative that's taking place in a district or state, and you guys might have tons of data, and you just pass that on to us. We get you the insights, we get you the trends and everything that you probably would have missed most likely. And then those trends and those analyses, they help you devise your policies and your next steps forward. That's where our skill set comes into the, it's the USP for us as well.
Right. Okay. The next question is, do we get to know the sources of data? Do you want to take that, Tariq?
Yeah, once you open the data file, whatever data file that you're interested in, once you open that, you get to see the source, the original source of that data, as well as a link to that to the place, to that web page where we got the data from. So yeah, it's all pretty clear, crystal clear on the data file page.
Yeah, so I just want to quickly go through the data policy as well, a link to that question. Yeah. So do log on to the website and look at our data policy, because we have clearly stated, what is openly available, where we source our data from, and what our responsibility is as an organization. But just to quickly go through that, through some of the main points there, we are currently dealing with secondary data. So this is data that is typically open data that is available either on a website or through a database that we file a request for. So eventually we might be getting into primary data collection as well, but for now we are sourcing data from secondary sources. So the source is always mentioned in our data files. Like Tariq said, when you download the Excel file, you will see the source of the data in that file. We also do mention the source in infographics, as well as the dashboard that we are developing. So the source is clearly mentioned. You can reference it back to that source, but we would also like you to mention our website where you access the data from. Apart from that, in terms of the data cleaning and processing, we avoid doing any sort of statistical analysis that will distort the data. So for example, with missing values, right now we're just dropping them. We are not really using any estimation techniques because we want to make sure that you have access to data in the rawest form. We just clean it in terms of organizing the data in a way that's easily accessible to someone who's looking for data. So for example, if you have a data set with 200 indicators, we'll do some cleaning of missing values, or we just look for trends around data quality, but we don't actually distort the data on too much, because that's our objective, is really to get you data as close as it is to the primary source. Okay, we have one more question, which is around the kind of data work that we've already done. Have we seen any interesting trends for any specific health topics? So Tariq, do you want to take that?
Yes, so with the work that we've already done so far, of course, our data research insights, our data blogs are built on the trends that we see. I'm going to repeat the example of the TB story that I showed up during the demo. there was a clear indication of how many TB cases India was missing out on solely because of the outbreak of COVID. So trends like these, you can see, it's visually very profound. You see the drop in cases, you see a drop in the notified cases of TB. You see a drop in the number of services being offered to TB care and TB patients. Facilities were shut down. So all these sorts of indicators, especially in a circumstance like these indicators and these trends become a little more profound than they would otherwise be. So while sifting through the millions and millions of data sets and creating these infographics, we do see trends, and the most topical of trends, the most interesting and the most crucial of trends take the shape of our data blogs and data stories.
Yeah, just to add to that, one of the things that we were working on is also COVID. And I think a lot of reporting around COVID has been around just the number of cases and deaths, but you'll actually be surprised to see how many NGOs have gone into households to actually also look at other indicators like economic indicators, as well as social well-being indicators. Some of these have obviously come out in the news, like, for example, domestic violence or alcohol consumption, for example, in the US has gone up multiple times, and a lot of this is especially among women. So yeah, it's been very interesting to see all of that, and just to also go beyond the typical indicators that are reported, which is usually like how many cases of COVID do we have, or how many deaths have we had. So these other indicators, I mean, usually you're dependent on a research organization or an NGO which works at the grassroots level and actually has the capability to conduct surveys in these times of social distancing. So yeah, those have been some interesting trends that we've seen. And also, just if you actually look at specific diseases within a subcategory, like, for example, if you go beyond just looking at non-communicable diseases and you kind of break it down, it's very interesting to also see time series data and see how prevalence has dropped or how it's increased. And then we try to do some research around why that might be the case. Those are very interesting, especially when you link it to policy to see whether around the same time, because we don't just look at India-specific data, but also global data. So it's very interesting to also see what kind of policies were implemented around that time that could have potentially led to either an uptake or a drop in deaths or prevalence and things like that.
Just to on the point that Anuja mentioned, it's about looking beyond the data. It's also about observing those trends and then connecting the dots. One of the research reports that you will find on our website is about when everyone was looking at COVID through cases and deaths and numbers. We looked at it through the eyes of wildlife trade, and then that ended up being a rabbit hole. So millions of data sets through that, and what we observed was there was an evident policy change, which was which happened along the same timeline as these zoonotic diseases happened. Policy changes with regards to export of animals and export of animals that could be the source of zoonotic diseases. So it's observing those trends and then connecting the dots to policy decisions, and then what's happening behind those numbers and what's happening basically is connecting the dots and coming out with a bigger picture.
Yeah, and one of the things we also plan to launch in the near future is research reports. The previous question, we also do want to create research reports dedicated to specific diseases so that we go beyond individual data sets. We want to also create like comprehensive research reports where, let's say you are doing a project on diabetes, then you don't really have to look at all the data sets on diabetes. We'll have a comprehensive report on diabetes, which will then link you to either individual data sets or sources or any trends that we have found. So that's also an objective of ours. So I think, just to quickly wrap, we have one question on membership again. So what can you access with with just the basic membership, and what can you access with paid memberships?
Right. So sure, like I mentioned, with basic membership, you get our access to our data files, our infographics, our data blogs, dashboards, and of course you'll get more of the size and the scale of data that will be provided to you, which will be on much higher end in terms of data files, infographics, and everything which you have for the paid member. See, basic subscription, when we look at, is basically for you to understand this platform. You can definitely, you don't want to swipe your card immediately, because you just want to learn a little bit more and understand if it's really useful. So that's where basic subscription starts, and the scale of data provided there, the scale of data sets there are much smaller than the paid ones. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, so just to quickly conclude, again, thank you so much for joining us at this launch. This is really just the beginning, to looking at health data, public data, open data very differently in the future. So just to quickly wrap up, please do check out our website, www.kruxd.in. It's up, and you can look at infographics, data files, and also do check out the membership page if you want to look at different membership plans. In addition to that, if you want to collaborate with us, we also do data analysis, dashboarding. So if you have access to private data that you want analyzed, we'd be happy to take that up as well. And just to, I think there was again a question around data aggregation. We will be happy to do that, or also writing, because we have been data journalists and have been reporting on health data. In addition to that, I just want to emphasize that we're really a global platform. So if you are even a journalist or someone who's reporting on data and for another country, we would love to speak to you about it, because it is often hard to look at data from the outside. So if you know of any organizations that do publish a lot of data, then we'd love to have a chat with you. Even if you don't want to collaborate with us on a long-term project, we'd love to learn more about data policies in your country, and like grassroots organizations that are collecting data, or even what data journalists are doing in your country. And if you want to also intern with us, we're always looking for data analysts, and if that's something that interests you, you definitely should write into us, and we'd love to have you on board. And just to quickly wrap up, I also want to cover a few things that we are planning to do over the next few months. So we definitely do want to increase the scale of the platform itself. So that's what we've been working on right now, is to access more data sets, clean more data sets, create more visuals for you. So that is one priority. In addition to that, we also want to start doing these research reports where we look at diseases in more detail. And that's something we'll get to once we've analyzed enough data around those diseases. We're also looking at collaborations with organizations, like I said, collecting primary data. We'll be happy to analyze it, dashboard it for you. And finally, we also do want to take up, capacity building initiatives, because like I said, Data Leads did start off with media and capacity building, and that's something we've been doing for a very long time. We've conducted many workshops and boot camps on data. So if you are, let's say, a news organization that wants to train journalists on how to use data or any kind of data related software or platforms, then do reach out to us, because we'll be happy to take up workshops as well. And we also want to create some videos that will take you through very basic functions that you can do on Excel to analyze data. So that's pretty much what we have in plan for the next few months. In conclusion, I think just follow us on social media, and also do check out the website, which is now live. Okay, with that, thank you so much, Misty, Tariq, and thank you, Pankuri, for organizing this. And we do look forward to collaborating with everyone, and we hope that this sheds new light on health data. Thank you.